Good afternoon, friends of Arabian Essence from all over the world. Welcome to the 5th episode of Stay at the Farm. We hope all of you are staying safe. We keep on connecting with Arabian horse breeders, owners, trainers, as well as everybody involved in this industry, and hopefully bring some positivity during these times. We are ready for our first guest of today. But before we open the conversation, we would like to remind you that you can send your questions during the interviews and let us know if you would like to participate to our program by messaging on WhatsApp at the number you see below. Okay, let's start with connecting with Elvis. Elvis, how did you spend the last week at Le Soleil? What did you do? We don't hear your audio. Okay, try again. Okay, now.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
now I get.
Hello to everybody. We got some newborns in the last 2 weeks. Not horses, but let me show you. Two little calves. So here they was just born, and my dad tried to teach Elliot and Ines how to milk the cows. So they started, and then we would like to we try to do some fresh cheese. So we asked to kids to take the lemons from our tree that we will use to put on the milk to get the cheese. So we prepared the milk. And then when the milk gets a certain temperature, we have to put the lemon juice inside. And you see, the milk started to become cheese. And finally, they get the cheese.
Fantastic. And here, how old are they?
They was 4 or 5 days, because the first milk it's like colostrum, so we cannot take it. We give to them. And this is you see two little calf in together, because one of the cows was the first time that she delivered, and at the beginning she had not lot of milk. So we decided to give a little bit of milk from the other mother. So we moved it, under the other cows, and to get some more. And then his proper mother get more milks in the following days. So now he is eating the milk from his mother.
Ah, good. And they don't make any complaint if you change the...
No, this time no. Sometimes, but in this case, we was lucky that this cows was really nice with a good character, that she accepted the other one. And time by time, I'm happy to teach my kids to do little bit of everything, and we are lucky to have my parents that when they was child they did it, so they tried to teach also to my son and daughter, and it's the same that I did with my grandparents, and I think it's something really nice for kids to have a lot of time with their grandparents, like I did when I was child. So
yeah,
we try to do it, and this COVID-19, it's helping us to stay all together, because we are living all in the same farm, and so we enjoy our life all together.
Also, it's very, I think, something very, very good for the kids to learn all these things about animals, the deliveries, also this of the cheese, and it's something that is going to be lost also in the who lives in the town don't have any idea of all of these things. So
yeah, and they really enjoy to do it. And now this was last week, but this week we have some news. So I got a box from Ferdinand Wehmer with 35 eggs, and we got an incubator from our friends. So now we have a lot of eggs inside of the incubator, and in let's say 15-20 days approximately, I hope we will get little chick.
Huh. Okay, good. So Elvis, please stay with us during now the connection with the guest. So maybe you also can make some question and interact with them. And we start with our first guest, who is Miss Talitha Bakker from Arabian Study Europe. Is it already connected? Hi Talitha, how are you?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Hi. I'm okay. How are you?
Good, good. We have a very sunny day and also warm outside, so it's coming.
Delay on the lane, I think, but it's okay.
Hi, Talitha. Happy to have you here. Okay. Marco, do you know that Talitha is not only a breeder of show horses, but she is also a good rider. I know that she is competing in endurance, and also she did jump or other competition. I hope that the connection will be good, so she will tell us something about what she did in past and what she is doing now with her horses.
Yes, we have also a video to show with one of where she was in competition with one of her mares. So, but we try to wait to have Talitha. Okay, maybe we can just make a break and send an advertising, and then in the meantime we try to connect with Talitha.
This program is offered by
Okay, we are back. We established a connection with the phone, so we can hear Talitha and she hear us also. So we wanted to start just if you can say something about the situation in your area, about the virus and how live how is the life with you and your farm, and so you can just tell us something. You live in Holland, right?
Yes, I live in Holland. The situation is a little bit better now. The numbers of disease are declining, so this is good. And in the next weeks, they will also reopen the schools for the smaller children. So it's starting to look a little bit better.
That's good to hear. The situation also is very different in different countries. So here, for example, they take some decisions about the school to not open. In other countries, they open. So it's really difficult to have an idea of how it will be in the next month around Europe. Also, if you think to show or to other things related with the horses, when will be possible to move with the horses to transport them? So, okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit scary also because we like to show the horses, we like to go to the horse farms and to see the shows, and now it's not possible. And here in Holland, we say it's still the 1st of September, and then it's possible to do events again. But until the 1st of September, everything is cancelled, so we have to wait.
Yeah, sure. And we hope to be able to do something virtual or real, but to have something during the summer to keep people on still on the track of the shows, on the seeing horses and enjoying this. Okay, you sent us several videos, but I would like to start with a very special stallion who is Jasmine. Maybe Elvis have a question for you about this.
No, we know that he was bred by our good friend Ferdinand Wemmer at La Movida, and
but she can hear. Okay, you can't hear Elvis. Is right.
I cannot.
Okay, I make the question. Just we know that he was bred by our friend Ferdinand Wemmer of La Movida.
Yes.
And he's the son of a steam. Okay, we see the video, and maybe you can tell something about them. You see the video or not? Yes.
I cannot see the video yet, but I will tell you something about him.
Okay.
I bought Jasmine from Justin Bessendale in 2007. And he's a very tall stallion with a lot of movement. And we try to show him, but he doesn't like the shows at all. So we try to ride him in the saddle, and he loves to ride. He does a lot of show jumping and the cross country, and he jumps up to 1.30 meters, which is quite high for an Arabian. And yes, he's doing a good job. And during the day here at the farm, he lives together with the mares. And I'm very happy to have him. He's also a very good sire. We have a lot of sport ponies and warm blood horses that breed to him. And we are very happy with the results. He's breeding very good, talented horses also for the sports. So I think it's good to have him here.
As we were saying before, that you are known also for competitions like endurance that you did also with one of your mares, ASE Biziria Lail.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
So we have also a video to show, and maybe you can tell us about
Yes.
About the activity in sport, in endurance or other sports. I don't know.
Yes, Biziria is a very special mare. She's the best brood mare we have at the farm, and she's producing show champion after show champion after show champion. She was also awarded with the elite certificate for her production, but I also use her for endurance riding, and actually she's one of my best endurance horses. She has a very low heart rate and a fast recovery, and she's doing very well. She did also international endurance. On the video here, you see her finishing the 1-star at 90 kilometers endurance, and she did it with a speed of 16.7 kilometers an hour over 90 kilometers, which is kind of fast. And she did also a 2-star over 120 kilometers, and she's qualified to do 160 kilometers, which is the highest level of endurance. So this mare is breeding show champions and is also riding high-level endurance. So it's a really nice combination.
Very good, and congratulations for all these achievements. And it's very interesting also to maybe in the future when we will have the possibility to go more in the deep with this the sports, because actually we are doing very little things for covering endurance or other sports. But okay, we go on and we see that she is also the mother of your stallion ASE Giughera by Da Vinci, right?
Yes, that's correct. That's her son. Yeah.
And so we can see his video. Now we are watching, and maybe you can say something.
Yes, Giughera is a young stallion. He's 4 years old now, and he's from Da Vinci, who's from Versace. And this makes him the half-brother to Dominic M, because of they have the same father. And the mother is Byatt, the mare you saw in endurance. And Giughera was a silver medal champion at the show when he was younger. And now we use him for breeding, and his first foals look very promising. He has a very extreme face, and this he gives also to all his children. But he also has a good body and good legs, and we also want to ride him in the future. So he's everything we want. He has the nice face, but also the body of a sport horse. And he's very tall, so we look very much forward to see his offspring.
We have a video of a very nice showy filly by Giughera, who is now standing at Elba Training Center, who is ASE Juliet, right?
Yes, this is correct. She is the first filly we have from Giughera, so we were very happy with his first offspring. She was a national reserve champion last year, and she will show again this year. So I'm very curious how she will do in the show ring. She loves the show, always with the tail up. So yeah, I'm curious how she will do.
It's very beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, she's a very nice filly. Also a good face, like her father, and same showy movement.
She looks happy
and
also.
Yeah, she's coming from as a Sayuri, who I also bred. She's from Fadi Al Shakab, out of a Lumiere Amadeus daughter who was born in Brazil. Her name is Matahari. So she also has a very nice dam line.
And another of your precious mare is Geraldine Jamal. Let's see her. We have some videos to show. Okay.
Yes, Geraldine Jamal is a daughter of Ali Jamal and comes out of Gay Natasha, who is from the Gainey lines from America. I saw her in Brazil in 2011, and then I had the opportunity to buy her. But we had a little bit of bad luck because the border was closed between Brazil and Europe. So it took me 5 more years before I could finally import her to Europe. And now she gave me 2 fillies, one by Ghazal Al-Shakab and one by Qiyamag. And also for some clients, she gave a filly by Kaisar Al-Jud. And now she is in full to Elixir for Al-Jud studs and to Magic Magnifique for PK Arabians. So she's doing quite well. And we also have a very nice colt from her, a black colt from WH Justice. And this we're gonna keep for the future for showing and breeding.
Okay, we have now really a lot of questions coming from our social room, but I don't know how we manage. Maybe I have to read them, right? Okay. We have a question from Josephine from France. Do you think a horse that cannot be good for show, even if he is by two show horses, could be a good endurance horse? Or to get an endurance horse, you must breed with endurance performed horse?
Well, it's important to have to see the legs of the horse. Some breeders take care of the legs of the horses, others don't take good care of the legs, so it's something you have to watch. But also the show lines are giving normally a very good heart rate. In the Middle East, Ghazal Shakab is known by giving horses with low heart rate and fast recovery. So the show horses also can add something special to your endurance horse. So I think also a show horse can be a very good endurance horse as long as they have good legs. This is very important, of course.
Good. Then we have a second one from Germany, from Uber. How do you think we could improve the business of our Arabians and get more people involved?
Well, I think it's also important that we show that Arabian horses are not just for show. You can also use them for riding. They are great family horses. They're very good with children. So I think it's important to keep this image alive, that the Arabian horse is more than just a show horse. So I think when we can bring that out to the world, then we can sell more Arabian horses to like normal people, like people that only use them for riding or as family horse.
Okay, thank you very much, Talitha. I'm sorry that we had this technical problem, but we were in some way able to have an interview and to show some videos, interesting videos from your horses. So maybe
Thank you very much.
we reached the result in any case. And we hope to see you soon, and of course, stay safe and keep up on your life of beautiful horses. And we hope to visit you maybe when possible, and to have to see with our eyes more closer. Huh?
Yeah, you're most welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Talitha, and
Bye,
stay
Talitha.
safe.
Thank you for your participation.
Stay safe also.
Elvis
Thank
also
you.
is telling you to thank you, but you don't hear him, so I
Okay,
speak
thank you.
also for
Talk
Elvis.
soon.
Yeah, okay. Bye bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for this. We have now a little break of advertising, and we prepare for the next connection.
This program is offered by
Okay, moving to the second guest now. Some of you already know him from the Bruges International Show, of which he is the organizer, which is Jurgen Lievrouw from Belgium. Can you hear me, Jurgen?
Hear you, Marco. Do you
Good.
hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, super. Welcome
So
in Belgium.
please-
Hi, Jurgen.
Elvis, hey.
Nice to
Okay,
have you
we-
here.
Okay. Okay, we hear each other. Super.
Super. Because we had our first guest really in a bad connection and difficult to manage the interview and the thing. But okay, we start. Please tell us a bit more about the situation in Belgium with the virus. How this impact on your life, on your work. So just to have an idea of.
For our life, it's really busy actually. During also this pandemic crisis, with this, we have 3 kids, and with them, it's always busy. But in our work, we cannot complain. Everything is going well. The only thing is that you're into the places, so you cannot go to the shop with your kids or whatever. So, but normally in 14 days, everything will change a bit, and the regulations, they will loosen. The kids can go to school again. The sons are not allowed to school. We need to send them to the grandparents, they tell us. But we will see. Today they are sitting together with the government. And let's hope they loosen the regulations a bit and life can go on again.
Okay, so it's interesting to hear that how it goes there, because every country has some little difference also in the measures that were taken against to contain the virus, and so. Okay, we see also in these days how it will be also here in Italy in the next weeks, because actually they are deciding, so we don't know. But okay, we go on. We want to show to our friends at home this video that you've prepared for us, and it's about your farm and your facility. And maybe you can tell us something when we see the video. Okay, let's see.
Okay.
This is your farm, right?
Yeah, this is our place. We are based on 6 acres, and this is the vet practice of my wife as well. She gives services to pets, dogs, rabbits, cats, name it, and to horses, specialized in reproduction actually. We can stable 60 horses. We raise them in groups, the young ones, until they are 2 years old. Then we have another barn here on the walker on the left. This barn is only for the mares with the foals, and the biggest barn in the middle, in front of the walker, there are the stallions stables, the mares that we need to flush, and the mares that are giving birth. We have like 50 foals a year, but from all kinds of breeds. Warm bloods, Arabians, Frisians, name it. We had it here. For the moment, we have 2 stallions at our place. One is VDV Conquistador. He is by Fayat Al Fayat. He is owned by VDV Arabians. He is out of Ever After daughter. This stallion, his breeding book is closed. This owner is only using him for his own horses, so nobody else can breed with him. And the second stallion we have at our place is Galeb Alzobayer. He is by Marwan Al-Shakab out of FM Gloria. He is owned by Mieke and Bernard Van Damme. They are also the owner of FM Gloria herself. And he is breeding quite a few mares, and particularly he has one amazing yearling-old filly that's standing now at Privilege Arabians, and for sure in the near future you will see a lot of this special filly. So this is a bit about our place and what we're doing.
Very interesting, because maybe many people that are not in your strict group of clients, they don't know, so it's very interesting to have an idea of what to do and what is possible to have at your facility. I saw that you and Tim are organizing an online auction for Arabian horses. Can you tell us more about this project?
Indeed, yeah. This is a new project. Tim is really involved with the warm blood horses. I think everybody knows Tim as well from the show in Bruges. He's my partner. but in the Arabians this has never happened before. So we thought already for a few seasons to organize something like this, but to let in websites make and this was a huge budget. But okay, we thought by ourselves, let's try it. There are always people that would like to sell a horse, or it's difficult to find the right buyer, and there are always people that are interested to buy something or looking for something and not finding the horse that they have in mind or in their budget. So we had the idea to do this auction. We will have 25 horses in it. There are still a few spots left. If people are interested to participate, it's still possible. Every week we will post 2 horses on social media. And the 10% commission that will be handed over to us, to the organization of this auction, and also to the organization of Bruges, of the Arabian Horse Show, this 10% commission will be used as prize money for the European participants. So I think this is a win-win situation. And this makes it, I think, fun for all parties actually. So this was our idea, and maybe it's also the moment to thank you, Marco and Elvis, to participate in this project, to give us a bit more visibility, and also to post every week the 2 horses that we put it online. So this is a snowball effect. So the auction will be at the last week of June. So from now on, every week, everybody will see 2 horses until the 25 horses are published. Then we will open the auction, and for 1 week, everybody can bid.
Very interesting. Elvis, are you there?
Yeah, I saw also that you sold a wonderful filly to the Canterbury Arabians. Let us show a little clip of her, a little video, and then you can tell us something.
Yeah. This is indeed Malala Apal. We sold her last season actually to the Carteret Arabians, to Mr. and Mrs. Antoine and Chantal Riga. Very sweet people. Looks like she's enjoying herself at the new facility at Toby Training Center. She looks amazing. So yeah, we sold her last year to the Carteret Arabians from France. She's by ES Arab out of Anila Apal. Anila is a Marwan Al-Shakab daughter out of Virginia Apal. She was bred by Jeff Sloan from the States. And actually the mother of Malala, this is a bit a story. She was at Johanna's place. We contacted Johanna, and we went to Johanna to see Anila Apal, and we dropped off our kids at my parents' place. We drove to Johanna, but Johanna was in another country, so Jeremy was over there, and Nancy. Nancy showed us Malala's mother, and I was talking about his pedigree to my wife for weeks already. And in the way back, we were discussing would we take her, would we not take her. So, but we had a lot of plans at that point in our life. We wanted to buy to build a new house and do other investment. And my wife told me in my car, okay, you are talking so much about his pedigree, and I think we need to do it. So we went to my parents to pick up our kids, and my mom asked me, what did you do actually this afternoon? Why did you drop off the kids over here? So I told her we went to this horse, and we thought she was special. And once upon a sudden, my mom was watching my dad, and she told him, what do you think? And my father was like, yeah, for me it's okay. And I thought, what's happening here? And yeah, they said to us, if you really think and you believe in it, that she's special, we will buy her as an invest, and we believe in you, and no problem, we will do it for you. But okay, we refused it, but we made a deal, so we bought her each 50%. And they have never seen a horse before, they don't know anything about it, they let us do, and but this horse is actually, they gave us a lot of nice babies already. She's only 6, but it's a sunshine story. We had a lot of joy with her. Yeah, like now she's in fall to Shanghai. Last year she gave us a colt by Ekeborn, a grey colt by Ekeborn, and we had also an RV Farid daughter still at my place, Asia, all with the same mare. And yes, it's like a fairy tale so far.
Congratulations, Jurgen. Sometimes when you see a horse, you have to follow your heart and go on, and you arrive to have it at home and start something very special after this. So So we thank you very much. It was nice to see you and to hear about the auction and to tell also to our public. We see if we have something from the social room that maybe want to ask you.
Okay, shoot.
Hello.
Hello.
I have some question for you. Asia, ask you. I saw you propose it to your girlfriend during the Bruges show a few years ago. How was this idea born?
Yeah, I had this idea already for quite a time, and yeah. Wacht even, ik ga erachter komen. So, but yeah, she's like now. My wife is 42, becoming 43, I think, and she always told me I want to marry before 40. So yeah, this I couldn't do, but for sure I thought I could do maybe something special. So all her friends were there, her sister was there, her mother was there, and my parents also. So I thought, and our friends, and even other neighbors. So I thought maybe let's do something, and so everybody get involved, and this will be in the mind of everybody for a few years. So it happened.
Then we have George from Poland that asks, which stallion are you using this year?
This year, we are still thinking, but maybe we will do Sarap again. I would love to do something with Mardan with this, but it is not so easy because his breeding book is closed. But yeah, there are quite of nice stallions to use, but we keep it also a bit budget friendly. So, and this is also a part of the hobby to find a stallion that you like, and yeah, it's. But this is maybe my opinion. Also something with Rashim blood is interesting, but I think the Sons of Rashim needs to come. Like next season, I think a lot of people will do with this, and yeah.
Thank you, Jurgen. I think we don't have any more questions, so hopefully we will see each other in September at the show, no?
In Bruges in September, absolute.
Yeah.
Hope to see you.
Okay, hello. Which is the name of this beautiful...
Leontine.
She's, hello.
Yes, Leontine. This is the youngest. Tweede keer. Yeah, these are the energetic kids.
Yeah, sure. The age is perfect. So, okay. Yeah. Thank you and talk soon. And we are back after the advertising. Stay with us.
Bye, Jurgen.
Okay, see you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Elvis. Bye-bye, Marco.
This program is offered by
Okay, now is the turn of a guest that does not need any introduction. A name that says all itself, Michael Byatt from United States. So, we are connected. Hi, Michael.
Hello. Greetings.
Good. Elvis, are you here?
Yeah, hi, Michael.
Hi, Elvis.
First of all, I would like to thank you for your participation. As I told you already, you have always been so kind with all our team, and as everybody knows,
Elvis, you're breaking up Elvis, you're breaking up a lot.
So
your words are breaking up. I only get.
Okay, just would like to thank you. And I would like to introduce an unpublished video of an amazing horse that I think created the nowadays show horses. He's an Asel Farid.
We see the video.
Great.
This video was done by Gigi and Marietta during one of their trip in Zichitissen. This is a young Gigi Grasso, and they filmed, I think it's one of the last video of an Asel Farid. And it was truly amazing. Also in this age, his top line, his head and neck for such a, old stallion was really something unbelievable.
Oh, that's a fun memory to see him. That was fun.
As we said before, and as everybody knows, this stallion, we can say, has created the nowadays show horses, and we want still share two other videos of his most important progeny, Ghazal Al-Shakab and Marwan Al-Shakab. Michael, we all know you have a special relation with both of them. Could you tell us why they are so special to you?
I think they changed the world. And for me, those horses changed my life. And it actually started with Farid, who I saw as a 2-year-old when he was in Florida. And seeing Marwan for the first time when he was a yearling, shown by Eileen Verdick in Doha, I think everybody there at that moment knew that this was a unique and very special horse. And coming to my farm as a late 2-year-old and spending 10 years with me, he influenced our horses in America and thus around the world so significantly in one generation that there really is no equal to him as far as a kind, wonderful, not only beautiful, but he's a great thinker. And Ghazal, who we're seeing on film now, he was really the most special to me in my heart because he was the smartest horse. He was a little more aloof than Marwan. Marwan was friends with everybody, this wonderful little boy, where Ghazal would be a little standoffish. When Ghazal put his trust and love into anyone, it was permanent, and he was such a noble creature. Very interesting in this paddock, which we still today call the Ghazal paddock. He used to live his life by the sun. He was so smart, he'd go into one place during a part of the day and another place, either seeking the shade or the sun. But Ghazal is just an amazing creature that glows with his personality. And Marwan, of course, through the incredible prepotency he had, he was able to change horses in one generation, and he'll forever be in our history books because of all the things that he contributed.
Michael, did you have the chance to meet personally also Asel Farid?
I was one of the owners of Farid. I showed Farid at the US Nationals to a top 10, and I took him to Paris, and he won the most classic head in 1993. And I showed him at the Egyptian event in '94 when he won, and subsequently Count Federico purchased him from us. It was a group of 10 of us that owned him. So he lived at my farm for a long time. The first time I saw him was at the Sinclair's farm in Ocala, Florida, where I had gone to see a horse named Anaza Beisha, who they wanted me to show at the Nationals that year. But driving into their property, I said, "Who is the bay colt in the front paddock?" And Les and Lois said, "You can show him another time. Right now we're concentrating on Anaza Beisha." But I said, "Whenever you will send this horse to me, Anaza El Farid, I'd love to have him." So I had him. He stood at my farm for several years. And then, as I said, I became the owner, and then we sold him to the Count. But I had many years with him.
So you were so lucky to have the chance to stay together with all three these horses. And which of the two, Ghazal and Marwan, get most from Anaza El Farid, for your opinion?
Ghazal. Ghazal is one step closer to Farid, and then Little Lies of Fame and the Fame influence kind of mixed it in with Ghazal to take it one step further away from Farid. Farid wasn't a particularly stretchy horse. He was a little short-legged, whereas Marwan is long-legged. Of course, that neck he has is known worldwide. Ghazal is a little more compact, like Farid was.
Yeah. Good. Thank you very much for your, opinion. And then to go forward with the progeny of this stallion, I saw a nice video of you with Ariria Shakab and some other stallion that you have at your facility. So please, could you comment them with us? Marco, please launch the videos.
So this is Hariri, one of the most glorious horses that ever walked the planet. This is him just about a month ago. After his Platinum Cup win in Paris, he's back at the farm. He's unmistakably just the perfect Arab type, a very kind soul. Today we ride him all over the farm. He's now jumping. I take him over some nice jumps. And he's also a beautiful breeder. He's out of a Dakar El Jamal daughter who goes back to Echo Magnifico, and he's producing horses with beautiful type and beautiful spirit. And Hariri is just, from the way he looks to his personality, he's an amazing creature. And we're so blessed, of course, to have him and have Shakab let us keep him for this year's breeding season.
We have now
next one, I think, is Polidoro.
Yes.
Yes, Polidoro is a 4-time national champion. He's out of the Marwan daughter, Abba Palma, who is perhaps my favorite of all that line. And Polidoro really reminds me of his mother a lot in the way he's built, the way he thinks, the way he carries himself. He's now producing national champions. He had a national champion 2-year-old and a national champion yearling, Gianna Leah, owned by Radon Arabians, and also sired the junior champion colt at Scottsdale. And he has a wonderful father with D.A. Valentino. But for me, Polidoro thinks and acts like his mother, who I was blessed to be able to show at Scottsdale one year to Supreme Champion. And Philip Loyens showed her to World Champion filly. And of course, she was bred by our dear friend Marietta Salas. But Polidoro embodies all that she was, with spirit, look, charisma. And he was U.S. and national champion stallion.
And then we have Ran Al Shania, I think.
Ron is everything. He's one of the most beautiful horses I've ever seen in my life. He was U.S. national champion unanimously this year, and then we put him on a plane and flew him to Paris, which is rarely done. And out of the 9 judges, he was gold champion on 8 of the judges' cards, being named world champion colt. He's back here at my farm now, breeding a few mares. Beautiful pedigree by Marwan, out of a Rashim daughter, who's out of a age of Carter. Rashim daughter was bred by Al Shahania, as was Ron. And it's just a lovely pedigree, and he looks exactly like his pedigree. He has a very Rashim look, and he has all the superior qualities of the Marwan horses. And he's beautiful and kind, and we're going to have great things from him. I'm sure of it.
And the last one that we have is Lahab Al-Bidayah.
And Lahab is also a U.S. national champion. He was reserve national champion junior colt last year. Lahab is by Vivaldi and out of a double Padron Psyche mare. And what is so impressive about Lahab is his looks, his athleticism. He's built so beautifully, long-legged, super square-bodied, and some of the line-bred Marwan Ghazal horses, or those that we just want to outcross. And one of those babies you saw in the video is out of a Marwan daughter. So and I think he's going to be an important contribution going down the road to use on many mares, but for sure the Marwan Ghazal daughters.
Thank you, Michael. It looks like we have some little issues on your line. So while we check this, we also want to see if we got some questions for you in our social room. We have?
It seems like we maybe lost the connection.
Okay. Now you.
Marco.
It's okay. Okay. Sorry. It looks like we have again Michael with us for answering to some questions that are coming from the public around the world. There are so many that it's a pity to not give some answer. Okay, Elena, please.
Michael, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We have some question from Patricio Di Marengo. He wrote us, I admire you a lot as a person, and I always look the day to meet you in person. What do you like the most in the actual Arabian show horses versus the old line who have less dish but more functionality?
I like a combination of both. And going back to Marwan, that's one of the things that was so brilliant about Marwan is he combined beautiful conformation, athleticism, usability with all of that beauty. I don't want one or the other. I always try to have both. And I know the person, I know him through the internet that asked the question, and he has beautiful horses, and I congratulate him on such pretty horses that he has.
Okay, then we have, what does the judge look the most in a world champion title?
I hope that the judge's responsibility is to select the horse that best represents our breed, the breed standard. It's incumbent on judges to not necessarily pick the best show horse, but to select the best breeding horse that will allow the Arabian breed to continue to prosper and have beautiful horses produced. Sometimes that's not always the best show horse, but it must be first and foremost the rewarding of the best breeding horse. Not what they've produced, but how closely they resemble the breed standard.
Okay, then he asked, do you believe there is actually a standard anymore to follow? As a young breeder, I'm lost and I'm torn between breeding what I love and breeding what a judge knows.
Breed what you love. That last part, try to throw it out of your head. Breed what you love, but make sure that you're spending the adequate amount of time learning, researching, and understanding what the breed standard is, but don't follow the results that the horse shows unless it's compatible to what you personally love. If you personally love the horses you breed, it's going to allow you to have a better experience, and for sure it'll allow your horses to have a better experience, because you're not going to be deciding from show to show, oh, I like my horse now, I don't like my horse. So breed what you love.
Then the last
Wow,
question
Michael,
from
this is a very good answer. You know, I cannot say anything better than what you said now, because it's really what I'm doing. You know, of course, I also follow the shows, but I always bred what I love. I always use the stallions that I love, that I saw in person, and that they catch me. Like I never had to nominate El Perfecto, that it was something really catching for me. His charisma, his movement, lot of his quality. Same for Marwan and other stallions. So your answer, it's really what I would say. Thank you for your answer.
You're welcome.
Okay. Then we have this other question. What are the differences between American show horses versus European Oriental show horses?
There used to be a big difference. It was almost impossible to go from the American ring and win in Europe. But I think white and black are merging more and more to gray as the world has become smaller, and we're also much more interconnected through the internet, that we don't have such a huge division of what horses look like today than what they used to. So I don't think it's such a vast difference anymore. And you know, an example of that is Ron Al-Shahania or Marwan or Donna Moltabella. Those horses all won in America, and they also won in Europe. Crestura won in both places. Zagrobla won in both places. So I think 30, 40 years ago when I started showing in Europe, absolutely one couldn't compete in the other mostly, but today I think it's merging into a more common looking, a more similar horse for all parts of the world.
Then we have Algida Arabians, and they ask, who is better in temperament, Marwan or Ghazal?
They're both perfect.
Okay. Then we have DCF Arabians, and this is the last question for you. And they ask, what is your favorite horse all over the time?
My favorite horse was a horse named J.A. Raverview, who I rode to National Champion English Pleasure, and my wife rode him to National Champion English Pleasure, and my daughters were in love with him. He was a very small, huge-hearted horse that I loved more than any horse I've ever been with in my life.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael, to reconnect and to answer to all these people that wrote on the social network, because probably they are very, very interested about you, about your career and all your achievements, and so they made a lot of questions. Okay, so please.
Thank you for including me in today's program. I wish you guys the best at this stay-at-home time, and I look forward to reconnecting with each of you in person, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, sure. Hope to be in Menton maybe, yeah?
I hope so.
Okay, okay. So bye, and we go back to our next guest, right? No? Okay,
ciao,
we
everybody.
send some... Ciao, ciao. And we send some little advertising.
Bye, Michael.
Okay. And we are back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
This program is offered by
Okay, we are back and we try to connect with our next guest, who is a very well-known breeder, and she's a writer, an author. And so we are happy to introduce her, Judith Forbis, owner of Ansata Arabians. And we see if we are connecting. We are not connecting. So, Elvis, are you still there? No.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you well, and we met Judith Forbis in Kuwait in February. So maybe you can tell a bit something about.
Yeah, she was there presenting her new book, last book. She wrote a lot of books, and the last book was dedicated to Bint Bukra line, Bint Bukra and all airline. It was done in cooperation with Sheikha Sarah Saba, and she always supported, Judy Forbis and all the straight Egyptian breeders. And it was quite a nice presentation. We had first a horse presentation of Byatt Al Arab and Sheikha Sarah horses with all progenies from this Bukra line, Bint Bukra line. And then after the presentation, we gone inside of the Byatt Al Arab building, and they did 4 rooms, one with the presentation of the book, where Judith had a talk and told something nice about Bint Bukra with the participation of Sheikha Sarah. And then there was Karen Kasper that she did a nice sculpture of Bint Bukra. She presented the sculptures. And then on the last room, there was they set a box with inside a mare with the original Bint Bukra halter. It was this, old wool halter blue, and it was quite nice. And we did some picture all together. And there was a lot of breeders from Europe and from US, and of course from Kuwait. Kuwaiti are always very kind and a good guest for a foreigner. And we enjoyed that evening, and then following with the shows and some open house that we had the fortune to broadcast by live stream. So finally this year everybody was enjoying, and people saw what Kuwaiti breeders are doing, and I'm sure that they are a lot of them are following us because they know that Judy was here, and so they are always so interesting to listen Judy what she has to say. And nothing.
Thank you, Elvis, but it looks like we still have are not able to connect with Judith, so we launch some at the again, and we come back in 2 minutes. So stay with us, and we can soon.
This program is offered by
Okay, so sorry for this delay, but we are now online with Judith, and so we already introduced her. Judith, hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
Good. So we already introduced you, and welcome to our program, and we like to know something from about the situation in your area, how the impact in your life of this virus. Just to introduce a bit where you live and how it is, and then we go on with we have a very long list of questions.
Well, first I'd like to wish all our Arab and Muslim friends Ramadan Mubarak. Everything is good here in Arkansas, where I live in the middle of the country. We are relatively safe here in comparison to many other places. So that's about it. People are coping with the situation, but it's getting better.
Hello, Judith. We have many questions for you. We have Dixie, who asks, hi, Judith. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity to ask a couple of questions.
Just a second.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn this down. I don't think. Okay.
Okay. When choosing a stallion for a particular mare, what are your top 3 considerations?
Who's asking this question?
Dixie.
It's you.
She didn't write her surname.
No, sorry. On the live on Facebook, the voice of Judy is not there.
You're choosing a stallion?
Yeah.
Basically, one thing I look at is the pedigree, because I like to know the ancestors, how they were as individuals and how they produced. So that is very important to know they were, at least the parents and preferably the grandparents. Secondly, I would say the overall conformation of the individual horse. And also, I would say importantly is his charisma and his spirit, his character. Character and self-awareness and pride are very important traits of the Arabian horse. I don't just for head, I look for front, and certainly you want to ride. Movement is important to me because I grew up riding horses. So I'd say those are probably the 3.
Then, when assessing a pedigree, how many generations do you place high priority on, and do you evaluate a stallion pedigree the same way as a mare?
I go to the grandparents and sometimes beyond that, because it depends on how many times a horse appears in the pedigree. I also based a great deal on the tail-female line of the stallion and the mare, because I think the transmission is greatly through the matriarchal. Was how you want to approach doubling certain families, not doubling certain families. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I almost have to have a pedigree or have pedigrees of the sire and the dam in front of you.
Player, he asked, hi Judith, hope you are well. My question is, did you have a preference for any particular breed strains in either your stallions or mare, and if so, why? Thank you for everything.
Well, of course, we essentially built our farm on the Daman strain, which I felt
time has proven to be a great foundation on which you can build. In other words, if you're building a pyramid, you want to have a strong base on which to add to it. So initially, we began with the Daman stallion and 2 Siglawi mares, and I value both of those strains very highly. So they played a very important part. If anybody studies the pedigrees of the Ansata horses, it was to a great extent using those 2 families, and of course the great influence of Nazir, because our foundation mares were by Nazir, and so was Ansata Ibn Halima, and of course we used Marafiq. So it was an intensification of the Hadban and Zahi strain, which I also value very highly. But each strain has its importance, and you can't just go by strain. It's the families within the strains, how families breed. So the dominant Siglawi and Hadban were our primary foundations, but that's not to say we didn't use others.
Okay, then we have Al-Qasem Stat, who asks, what are the hardest and easiest faults to fix in your experience?
The easiest faults and the most difficult, well, they're all a challenge. I think a head is relatively easy to fix. Legs can be a little more difficult, especially when you get offset knees or especially tied in elbows. That's very hard to get rid of. The short croups, peaky croups, you can pretty well get rid of that in a generation or 2 with the right stallions or mares. I would say those are probably the most, head's the easiest. Certain conformation faults tend to stick in the families if you don't know how to breed them out. And I would say probably legs, tail carriage is another. They're all a challenge. Read my books.
Okay. Then we have a personal question from Felix Arabian that asks, why you stop breeding?
Why did I stop breeding?
Yeah.
Well, my husband passed away in 2008. We have been breeding for 50 years. It's not easy if you're alone. And where I live, it would have been a challenge from the standpoint of workers and veterinarians, just general care. And I thought I've done enough. I've written a lot of books. I travel a lot to see the horses that we have bred. I still have an interest in a couple of horses, but the actual daily maintenance and caring was just beyond what I felt I could take on in my life. So I'm very happy to go and see my horses all over the world, and I still consider them my horses, and I still see people breeding very much and actually elevating and taking to another step some of the horses that we bred.
Thank you. We have a last question for you. It's Christina, and she asks, in a video published by Pyramid Society, you said you are a firm believer that we should believe in the magic of our dreams. Was there ever a time where, even if your dream was clear and strong, you felt like you couldn't make it? If so, what did you tell yourself, or what did you do to keep yourself going?
That's a very good question, and I really don't know how to answer it. I don't think I ever felt like I was going to quit. I think you just have to kind of close your eyes sometimes and believe in the magic of your dreams and just keep going. Don't look back. Keep taking one step forward after the other. And if you believe hard enough and you work hard enough and you have enough patience, sooner or later those dreams will come true, but they don't always come true at the time we want them to. I think some of the magic is in the fact that we have to wait for them and frankly believe in God and that they will come true. And if you work hard enough, it may be at the end of your life, but sooner or later I believe that the magic of your dreams does work.
We have some other questions, sorry. First, we have a lot of people in Facebook and Instagram say that you are very good and that they love you. And we have a question that says, how you saw many of the greatest Egyptian Arabian horses that were the foundation of the modern Egyptian Arabian and many international Arabians. Can you name some and tell us about them?
Well, you know, it's really very hard for me to believe that nobody saw Nazir or Marafiq or Ibn Halima or some of the great horses that I was able to see. I would just name a few, and then maybe if there's anybody who wants a specific accounting of them, I can tell you a little more. But some of the horses that are memorable to me, and that's, believe me, this is not all. I just wrote down a few. But was Nazir, Marafiq, Ali al-Din, Sama, and Saad ibn Halima, and Saad ibn Sudan, and Saad Halim Shah. Rumanaj Ali, watched him from the time he was 2 years old. The Egyptian prince, Ibn Moniyad el-Nafus, Fayaldine and Faysir, both bred by Mr. Babs. Royal Colors was another young horse that impressed me when I judged Paris. I saw Basque, Nabor, Arnett, Verlaine, Fajr. Fajr was a great show horse, wonderful horse. I'll never forget the eyes on Nabor. And then on the mares, it was Bukra, a wonderful old mare, Moniyad el-Nafus, Mabruka, Mona, Maisa bint Maisa el-Sahira, the old Babson mare. I saw her before she passed away. Another great mare was Serenity Sambola. And a Polish mare I always loved was Milarka. And one of Wayne Newton's Spanish mares, I can't remember her name. She was reserve, I think, at Scottsdale. Very, very famous mare. And that wonderful bay Polish mare that everybody loves so much. I can't think of her name right now either. But those are just a few. I mean, there's so many.
Okay. You were the co-founder of the Pyramid Society with Douglas Marshall. What motivated you to create this organization?
Well, when we imported our first horses in 1959, and when the Marshalls imported their horses in the early 60s, we wanted to find some of the other Egyptian horses that had been imported to the United States in the 1930s, which were primarily those imported by Babson and W.R. Brown and a few others. But those were the primary big importations, and they were wonderful horses, wonderful. But we couldn't find any, with the exception of Babson and one or two others. So we thought, my goodness, why has all this Egyptian blood disappeared and been crossed into other bloodlines, whereas the ones we saw in Egypt were so unique of a particular type or quality. And so we thought, as others became interested in these Egyptian horses, the new ones, we wanted to basically preserve those bloodlines like they had been doing in Egypt. We wanted to preserve them in the United States. And so that's why we started the Pyramid Society. But little did we realize that all of a sudden it was going to mushroom worldwide. Other people decided, yes, well, that's a good idea. We should do the same, because there were some of these bloodlines still in Germany and other parts of the world, and of course in Egypt. And so that was the motivation behind starting it. It was basically for the United States, but then it just grew into an international community.
Okay. In these days, ruled by social media, you have written many books and articles. Which one was the most fun to write for you, and which one, in your opinion, is the most valuable addiction?
Well, I think probably from a standpoint of education, the first authentic Arabian bloodstock, called the Blue Book, was kind of a Bible for so many people, and it's still used today may be reprinted actually in Arabic. I think the most, I can't say because each one was special. The Abbas Pasha manuscript was a lifetime of work, literally. But the one that was really special to me is the one I just wrote called Born to Reign. It's a story about Ansata bin Bukra, who really became our foundation mare. And I felt she really, you know, so many books are written about stallions, and this mare was unique because she was crippled. And when we first saw her, we just fell in love with her, but we thought, oh, you know, with this problem with her pelvis and her hip had been knocked down, her front legs had knots all over them. She limped quite badly, but we just fell in love with her. And I loved her mother, and I loved her father, and I loved her pedigree, and her particularly, she had a gorgeous head. And we thought, well, let's take a chance. And the Egyptians told us, they said, well, you can buy her, but we're not going to guarantee she can ever get a foal because of her hip being knocked down when she was young. And so after talking about dreams coming true, we wanted to buy her as a yearling, and we had made the arrangements. And the African horse sickness hit, and 5 years later, quarantine was lifted in the United States, and the Egyptians said, well, do you want her? Still want her? And we said, yes. So we imported her, and they said, we've bred her. We don't know whether she's in foal. Good luck. We're not refunding any money. It's your chance. Well, got to the United States. She foaled a gorgeous bay filly. We named Ansata bin Misr, daughter of Egypt, daughter of Cairo and Egypt. And she became a foundation mare for our stud also. So we did believe in the magic of our dreams, buying that mare. And she has become one of the great mares in the Arabian horse history. Our bloodlines are all over the world. And so it was a joy to be able to write this book, and very nostalgic. And I also have to thank Sheikh Sarah Fad El Sabah, who is the general manager of the Beit El Arab Stud, for sponsoring this book, because the Kuwaitis and many other breeders throughout the Gulf region have horses that closely relate to Ansata bin Bukra.
Okay, the last question. You have judged around the world. What made you want to be a judge, and what did you learn from it?
Well, at the time I decided to be a judge, we were losing type at the show ring. And I remember Wayne Newton at that time was also despairing of the fact. And we were both advertising in the magazines, let's get back to type. We need more type. And I thought, well, if I'm going to say or promote getting back to type, I need to put my money where my mouth is. So I said, I'm going to start judging. And so I did. And that was really the main reason at that time. But it did open up my thinking, and I think any breeder would do well to judge, because it keeps you abreast of what other people are doing, what other breeders are doing, and you learn to keep an open mind. I appreciate any good Arabian horse. I don't care what the bloodlines are. And when you're judging, you don't have time to decide whether it's Rabbit or Polish or Russian or whatever. So I think it behooves anyone, because you have to be quick on your feet. You don't always make the perfect decision, but you do your best. And you really learn a lot about horses, about Arabians, and about the people who breed them.
Okay, I make you really the last one, and then I ask people to stop sending because we are out of the time. Marsha Thompson asks you, what are your thoughts about Tammen, owned by actor Patrick Swayze in the USA?
What did I think about Tammen?
Yeah.
He was a very elegant horse. I don't remember seeing him a whole lot, but I know his daughters have used very well. Patrick loved him greatly. And he was a very handsome, very showy horse, big chestnut horse. Certainly one of the important horses of his time. And I say again, I know from many other breeders that they were extremely pleased with the way his daughters produced.
Okay, thank you very much, Judith. It was a pleasure to talk with you, and a lot of people here send you a lot of compliment.
Well, it was a great pleasure, and I hope that people will read my book, Born to Reign. And I think it's inspirational to a lot of people, especially if you do not always want to judge something for perfection. The imperfection can also provide great joy in life.
Thank you, Judith, to participate. We are sorry for all the technical issues that we had with the conversation, but at the end we were able to have the question and answer. And so maybe we can try to connect better in the future. And thank you again. And we hear now 2 minutes of advertising, and then we are back. Stay with us.
This program is offered by
And we move now from the west coast of the US for our next guest, who is Mr. Braden Davidson, who is actually Canadian, but now he will explain us a bit about his story. Hello, Braden.
Hello, Marco. Good morning. Well, good afternoon to you.
Yeah,
Hi, Braden.
we know.
How are you?
Yes. Hello, Elvis. How are you doing?
Very good. Very good. Thank you.
Good. Good.
So please tell us a bit, how did you start with Arabians? Why are you now in Oregon?
Well, I grew up in Ontario, Canada, on the East Coast. I grew up in a wonderful time where we had a very large local Arabian horse community, surrounded by a lot of wonderful breeders, small breeders, and it was just a wonderful time. And I sort of got hooked on Arabians very early in life, and here I am, you know.
But was it your family already in this business, or?
Well, not so much, actually. We lived in the city. The only connection to Arabian horses was through a friend of my father's. And the only time we would visit with the Arabians and up at their farm was on the weekends, mostly on Sundays. So, you know, you would spend all day Sunday at the farm and enjoying their Arabian horses. And then, you know, you'd have to wait all week, you know, go through school. And then here comes the weekend again, and jump in the car and off to the farm on the Sunday. So, you know, I wasn't living on a farm, and I didn't have Arabian horses, but I was able to enjoy other people's. They shared them with me, so I was very, very lucky, and that's how it all started.
Okay, are you what kind of Arabians are you trying to breed?
Well, you know, I think for the moment, I don't consider myself a breeder per se. I think you know, it takes a lot of trial and error. I think you have to do a lot of travel and see a lot of horses. I've been very fortunate to travel all over the world and meet wonderful people and see their horses. And you kind of have to develop a style of horse that you love. You know, so many people breed a certain type of horse, maybe for the market, but I think it's very important that you breed something that you love. I'm a big proponent of breeding functionality. Here in Canada and the United States, we have a large performance aspect of our Arabian horse industry, and I think it's very important that not only should our horses be beautiful, but they should be functional, because you know, you have to be able to also ride and enjoy them as well.
Who are the most important breeders in Canada?
Well, I grew up, like I said, back in Ontario, and of course everybody knows the amazing Marquis. He was born not too far from me, and you know, I saw him moments after he was born, so that was kind of special to travel to Europe and see him show over the years. True Colors actually also came from Ontario, beautiful straight Egyptian, and you know, now he's overseas, and he showed and has been siring some wonderful horses. So Canada has seen some amazing horses. Magic Dream, I believe I watched Francisco Stradum from South Africa last week talking about Magic Dream, and he came from, I believe, British Columbia, so that's on the other side of the country. But there's been a lot of wonderful Arabian horses that have come from Canada. That
we prepared a video of Magic Dream. Maybe we can watch it together.
Sure.
It's coming. I don't know. Okay, please, you can continue to talk. When we see the video, we go back to Magic Dream. Do you think the Canadian...
About,
Sorry?
I said the irony of Magic Dream was I never actually saw Magic Dream in Canada. The first time I saw him was in Scottsdale, actually. He was standing in Scottsdale. So that was my first interaction, and what an amazing horse and what an impact he's had on the breed. So we're very fortunate that you know, he came from Canada and was bred by a wonderful breeder. So.
And do you think? Yeah. In the meantime, we saw the video, and it's very special type, different from many horses that we see today nowadays in the shows. Do you think?
Braden, sorry, who do you think were the most important horses bred in Canada? Of course, Magic Dream that we saw now, but I think there was quite a few.
Of course. Marquis that came from Ontario, the Melody of Arabians. He is one of the most winningest horses in Europe by Marwan out of Echo Magnifico daughter. Michael Byatt.
Yeah,
Was
I think
very
maybe
instrumental.
we have a video of him that we did during a live stream. I think it was in Dubai,
Yes.
Dubai show here.
Okay. Yeah, amazing horse. Of course, Philip Jose showing him to many wins also, and it's just really. I was maybe I can't remember how old, but I was very young, and to walk into the stable in Canada, where I'm from, and see this amazing chestnut colt that I still was not so experienced at that time. I still had not trained my eye to see what was in front of me, but to see what the impact he has had on the world show ring, it's pretty spectacular.
And what a movement, eh?
Amazing movement, yeah, and very sweet character, and so yeah, it's we are very lucky. Canada is a very big country. So there's so much space in between, and we had a lot of nice breeders, small breeders that created such a community. Unfortunately now, it's some people age out and they stop breeding, and younger people are not so involved. So I think it's very important that we nourish the all-around Arabian horse to get more people involved on many levels, not just for show. I think this is one thing.
But do you think the Canadian Arabian horses were more important in the past or today?
Well, I think I'm not sure if it's important in the past or today. I think the influence was very strong on Canadian breeders. I know there was a lot of cross-border transactions, selling horses to the United States, and also Canadians importing horses to Canada. So I think there was some equal parts. I know True Colors that came from the Toronto area in Eastern Canada played a tremendous role in siring a lot of beautiful horses in Canada, and they were exported. Royal Colors, for one, has played a very, very big part in the Dubai program. So I think just a lot of contributions from Canada to the global Arabian horse community.
Good. Marco, do you have other questions?
Yes, we have some questions from the audience. Let's see what they ask.
Hi, Braden. We have a playful question from Joris. How does it feel to be late for your class at the Scottsdale show and you have to walk in and show us first horse? Were you embraced?
Yours is one of my very best friends. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. But I'll tell you what, you sure have all the judges' eyes looking at you as you're walking your horse in. So it did not hurt at all. Thanks to yours.
Well, I think today the program was really had a lot of issues with some, so we lost a bit of time during that. Anyway, we did our question and show our video, so we can thank you, Braden, to participate. It has been great to having you with us, and we hope to see you in person.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to everybody, and thank you for providing this outlet, for us to tune in and sort of stay sane while we're all staying at home and staying safe. So, love your Arabian horses, love all what you guys are doing, and we'll hope to see you very soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and we are back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
This program is offered by
And now to our last guest of the day, who is the manager of Orion Farms, Mr. Doug Leadley. We see if we are connected with Doug. It looks like we are still not online, so we wait some seconds that Doug is connecting, and we prepare also to watch some videos that were sent from Orion Farms. Any news? Elvis, are you still connected?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I just wanted to ask you about what we heard today from Judith. It was really difficult to hear, but I am sure that in some way the people at home were able to hear her and to understand her words, as they wrote so many questions online. So what do you think of what?
Yeah, I followed the live on social media, on Facebook and the Instagram. And at the beginning there was some problem, but then when we switched it on the phone line, it was better. We cannot see the video, but we can listen very well what Judy had to say. You know, Judy, it's like a milestone on the Arabian horse world. So people in, let's say in Kuwait, in Middle East, they say that the books of Judy are, for them, are like their Bible, you know. So they are following everything she's saying, and following all the suggestions, all the tips that she can write in her books. And they based their breeding program on what Judy and also Dr. Nagel did in the past, and they wrote on their books. So they are very important for a lot of people.
Well, this is more related to straight Egyptians or for all Arabians?
Basically straight Egyptian, because she was a straight Egyptian breeder, and she created her, let's say, her bloodline, her family of horses that, you know, they are Ansata horses, so famous, and they was all straight Egyptian.
We have many breeders of straight Egyptian in Italy, as far as you know. Is it?
Yeah, I spoke just last week with some of them, because they would like to participate. So next week we still wait confirmation, but I think we will have few. One of them is Vincenzo Pellegrini. Who is one important Italian breeder. He bred straight Egyptian horses, and I hope he will join us, so he will tell us something.
Yeah, it will be interesting to interesting to know more about the straight Egyptians in Italy, because we saw them in Egypt, of course, in Kuwait. We had the occasion to make the live streaming of the important shows with the best of the straight Egyptians in their breeding programs. But also in Italy, of course, there are important breeders that we would like to have them here and to make them some questions, of course. We are now connected with sorry. We are now connected with Doug. So yes, and so we can start with introducing Doug. So it's nice. Are you hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you. Good evening, Elvis.
Good
Marcos.
evening. Good evening. Good evening, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
It's nice to have you here. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good. Just to know, very simply information about how is in your area the situation. Can you work? Is everything blocked? How it is?
Yeah, everything's good here at the farm. We're in Washington State, but we're 100 miles east of Seattle, and we're able to move around. I stay on the farm for the most part. So things here are real good. We're working hard. We're having babies. We're making babies. All good on my end.
Good. Elvis.
Yeah, Doug, we can nominate so many horses bred by Arion Farm, but the two that I really want to talk about are two mares that I think are the ones who created their own dynasty through their sons. OFW Silhouette, mother of AKS Alejandro, and OFW Michal, mother of Kail and Wadi Al-Shakab. What you can tell us about these two mares?
Well, I've worked for Orion Farm. It's been a blessing for me, and I've worked for Orion for 20 years. So I was familiar with those mares when they were born here. Interestingly enough, Michelle was a good show horse. Silhouette did not show, but she had those royal bloodlines. And of course, we sold Silhouette. She went to South Africa, went on to be the mother of the great Alejandro. Michelle, I showed myself some. Beautiful Misha daughter, and she went to on El Shakab and created 2 world champions. So those are the mares that before the new ownership here at Orion went out and became somewhat famous. The reason that when the new ownership took over here, we did not change the name from Orion Farms because we thought it had a good enough reputation. Why try to reinvent anything? So we were able to, and we did keep the same name.
Okay, I remember that I saw Michal once in Al-Shakab, and it was really breathtaking. The head was unbelievable, and of course we can see her product that won so many titles. But tell us something about the history of Arion Farm and how it was involved today.
As far as the history goes, it was founded in 1984 by Harold and Dolly Orr, and they had never owned horses before. They happened to buy their first Arabian horse from Dr. Howard Kale in Seattle, Washington. It evolved and then moved over here to Ellensburg, where it still runs today. And then Harold passed away, Dolly sold the farm, and in November 15th, 2016, we got to have a restart here. And like I say, kept the same name. And we are very busy trying to make it bigger and better than ever.
We are seeing.
We are looking now. We're watching the
video
images of.
Very, very beautiful, huh? Do you live there?
Place, yeah.
I'm sorry?
If you live in this place, or you just go every day for working?
No, I split my time between living in Scottsdale, Arizona, and the farm here in Ellensburg. So for me, it's split between the two.
Okay. Okay. What are some of the farm's most significant achievements so far?
Well, with the previous ownership, we bred and raised OFW Magic Juan, who went on to be Futurity National Champion Stallion, and then again was named National Champion as a junior stallion. And we bought our first horses for the new owners of Orion Farms January 2017, and I was able to buy some show horses to get us started. And we went to our first nationals again with the new ownership, and later that October in 2017, we were very fortunate in that all three of our mares that we took were named United States national champions.
I think we have a video, no, from these mares from the show. I think is taken, no, it's taken from the show. The video of these three mares from some U.S. national shows. I think is this one, yeah.
Here we go. Lulu Mirage. Micaiah, junior national champion mare 2017. And this is Queen Ida, Brazilian national champion, United States national champion, and Scottsdale champion mare. Again, we were very fortunate in 2017 to win the three national championships.
Yeah, you got three titles in that show.
All three won. Outstanding trainers who manage the horses very well. Outstanding horses and a little bit of luck.
For sure. That's, never miss. We have, I think, another video from Lulu Mirage, no? Yeah, let's see what is this video. Okay, I understand. You did it last year, this video?
Yeah, she returned to the Nationals. We gave her 2-year off. She returned to the Nationals last year for her futurity, and she was named U.S. National Champion Futurity mare. Again, Sandro did an outstanding job with her.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Okay, and we have also another video who is from Orion El Rey, right? Huh? So we can see also that one.
Rey Magnum.
El Rey Magnum, okay.
El Rey Magnum.
Sorry, was written. So this horse, can you say something about him?
Is he now
well,
in Italy or is he in US?
Well, this video is done by Paolo Capici. He did a beautiful job. Hello, Paolo. The horse right now is here at Orion Farms in Washington. I want to make that clear because now we do have operations in Scottsdale, but he is here at our Washington farm. 2 days ago, he had a beautiful filly out of OFW, Julie, who is a full sister to Alejandro's mother, Silhouette. And beautiful little filly by El Rey, so he's just getting started. We're very excited about him. He's as pipey and beautiful as he's ever been. Just starting his breeding career. He's not offered to the public yet, but we do plan on doing that probably next year.
And do you have frozen semen for Europe or not?
We are going to send some frozen semen to Europe. Again, I think that it would be offered next year. His semen is very strong and good. We're happy about that. And so we're happy about the future looks very bright for El Rey Magnum and Orion Farms.
And What's new at Orion Farms these days? What we can look forward into the next future?
Well, when we started here in 2017 with the new Orion Farms, my premise was I managed for years the Great Bay Shaw, and then I saw how long it was. In fact, I've never had another one, a stallion that could stand the test of time. I think so often your national and world champions, they breed a lot of mares, and then they were just a flavor of the year. So we set Orion Farms up with the premise that the magic was in the mares. And I would go around to breeding farms, and they always had a couple of mares that gave their best babies. And I decided that's the kind of mares we want to build our foundation on. So this year we have 23 babies. Welcome into the family. We have 3 more to go. And I think that our breeding manager reports that we're expecting 31 already for 2021. So we're busy here at Orion Farms,
I believe.
making
Yeah.
babies.
Wow.
Looking forward.
I believe you are busy.
Yeah, we're busy.
Good. Maybe we have some question, Elena, from the social room.
Okay,
Yes, do you hear me?
I
Do you
do.
hear me? Okay. We have a question from Lori from Germany. She say, we saw your horse Ray Magnum in lot of television in Europe being criticized about his extreme dish head conformation. What do you think about it? Was it just some kind of gossip?
Well, yes, we did take some criticism from some people that he was too extreme. And of course, that anyone who has ever seen him in person, and I challenge those people that have criticized him to see him in person, because I don't think they have. Yes, he did win the most outstanding yearling face at the World Championship in Paris. He is beautiful, typey, but no one who's ever seen him in person has a problem with his beauty and type. I guess that's my answer there.
Okay, then we have Ahmed from Qatar. Are you using in your farm the world champions coming from your 2 Orion Farm mares, Cahill, Wadi, and Alejandro? Which one of the 3 do you like most?
We don't have any Cahill babies. We don't have any Wadi. We now have 2 Alejandro fillies here that was born this year. Both of them are beautiful, typey. One is out of El Rey Magnum's mother, a beautiful, beautiful filly. And the other one is out of Exella, which would be a full sister to the Erudite. And she also is a big, beautiful filly by Alejandro.
Marsha Thompson asks, what outside stallions is Orion Farm using on their mares, and why?
Again, the backbone of our breeding philosophy and program here is mares, and we work very hard handpicking each one of the brood mares that we have. We have this year babies out of 13 different stallions, so the list is long.
Too many.
Okay, then, then we have Sabine from Belgium. Is there a mare that you particularly like and would like to add to your breeding program? Even mares from the past, and if you would be his owner, which one stallion would you breed her?
Boy, I'd have to give a little thought to what outside mare I would choose. I guess I can't answer that just at the spur of the moment. And I really believe in looking at past production on stallions and mares. That's why I think we're getting better at Orion Farms. We have several national champion mares, and each year we get more information on if the cross worked or not. For instance, we have Queen Ida, the Brazilian and United States national champion mare, and we have a Ajman filly out of her that's absolutely outstanding, which tells us that we will probably breed her back to Ajman.
Okay, then we have Chen Noff. Any chance to buy embryo from your mares with Ray Magnum?
Yes. One aspect of our business plan is that we have gathered all these beautiful mares here, and we absolutely will sell embryos out of some of our, in fact, any of our great mares we would sell embryos out of.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all.
So, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. It's been amazing to have you here and to hear all these details or these programs about Orion. Goodbye until we will meet again in person. Again, maybe not me, because I don't think we never met, but someone who wrote the text was knowing you from before. I don't know.
I wrote it, so we met.
So okay.
We met in Paris.
And so I'm sorry
to be able soon to come to visit you in USA.
Well, and I was going to say in closing, I really hope that the people around the world, if they have a chance, would come and visit this beautiful farm. We love to show our horses off, and yes, people are welcome to come here and visit us.
Thank you very much for your participation.
But also, if it was the show in Vegas, our intention was to ask you after the show if it was possible to visit. Unfortunately, everything was cancelled, so we didn't have the possibility to come to the US. But maybe next year could be. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to that. We'll roll out the red carpet for you guys, and we'll have a very enjoyable time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye,
Thank
Doug.
you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
And so we are at the end, and we thank you for staying with us all the time. From me, from Elvis, from all the team here, Christopher, Elena, Antonella, Christina. So it's a lot of work. So we just say
Marco,
bye-bye.
I just would like to thanks also everybody, and
Okay.
my apologize for
I don't see you. Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah.
My apologize for today. We had some problem with the connection with Talitha and Judy, but these things are not expected, and we try to do our best to to find a way to get connection in some way. And sorry for our English. We are not born in US or UK, so we try to do our best also with the English, and I hope everybody can understand us, and we don't do it like like professional journalists or TV people. We are doing it just to keep people together in our Arabian horse world, and to keep company to our followers and people that would like to see our guests and to listen what they have to tell.
Okay, so we give you appointment for our next edition next Friday. And bye-bye, and stay home, stay safe.
This program is offered by